It's a very easy trap to get into because they do look very realistic. What's the motivation behind this? Are people making money from these videos?
Yeah, it's your attention as usual. That's what happens on social media. They're trying to get your attention, trying to interest you with some provocative images, it's this on a positive side. Technology is going to come along to help us deal with this, but it's several years away. We're going to have digital watermarks that will stamp where it's coming. Say this was recorded in Tehran 3 hours ago by the BBC cameraman, but that is yet to come. So in the meantime, I do think that social media is just going to be a place where we're going to have to persuade ourselves that it's amusing and entertaining. But if we want to find the news, we've got to come to places like this. We've got to come to Sky News or the BBC, wherever it is that we trust to have actually put the hard work in to check the veracity of what we're looking at.
And just on that, what are your tips to tell so we don't fall victim to misinformation in the fog of war?
Well, the first tip is provenance. Where has it come from? If it's a random social media site, then be very skeptical. Secondly, you can tell, there are a few tells still. If you look carefully at the physics, sometimes it gets the physics slightly wrong. Things fall over in slightly the wrong order, or things that should have fallen over haven't fallen over. So look carefully. But the most thing is where did it come from? Can you trust the person who's trying to show you this?
Another thing that I wanted to get into on my personal algorithm, I've seen a barrage of videos online promoting what Iran was prior to the Islamic Revolution, showing it as a kind of utopia here. Are we seeing a kind of shadow war, I guess you could put it, being fought online at a global scale to influence the perception of the public?
We are, and that's not just humans that are trying to influence you. There are AI bots that are doing it as well, trying to do it at scale, manipulate the algorithm so that your feed gets full of this content. So yes, it is. It is very much winning hearts and minds. Wars are fought not just physically, but in the hearts and minds of the public, willing to put up with these things. And so there's definitely people trying to influence you in these ways. Again, if you want to make sure that you're getting the news, probably going to have to turn the TV back on.
It is quite scary that perhaps unconsciously we're being sort of shown these videos and influenced in that way. We might not be aware of it, and it's very subtle as well. Broadly speaking, do tech giants have a responsibility to shut down propaganda online?
Yeah, no, I'm glad we've got to this point. I think we do. I think we're not holding the social media giants, the tech giants, to enough accountability. This content, we've had fake photography since we've had photography, but the problem is that social media can put it in front of millions of eyeballs, and we're not holding the social media platforms responsible for propagating that harm. And I think it used to be, it wasn't such an important part of the media. Now, most people, get a lot of their news from social media. Facebook is the largest news organization on the planet. We probably need to hold them to the same standards that we hold you to.
And just on that, how widespread is this? Is it countries that are funding this kind of, I guess we could call it propaganda on social media? Are these innocent-looking videos of any kind? It could apply to any sort of conflict here that will influence people sort of showing one side of the conflict in a positive light.
Yeah, so it's people organizations at all levels. So you will have, Russian and North Korean actors doing it. There, of course, the terrorist organizations in those places will be doing it, and then there are just influencers just trying to make money after social media, and they don't actually really care too much about the message they're selling. They're just trying to sell adverts and buy your attention. So it's people at all different levels are doing it.
Yeah, very interesting. I'm glad we could have this conversation. Professor of Artificial Intelligence at the University of New South Wales, Toby Walsh, thank you.
Thank you, Jack.